Hey, what's up guys, my name is Aaron and today we're going to look at the Samsung Galaxy Buds, $130. A lot of the biggest tech review channels out there that have tried these pair of earbuds are saying that these are some of the best earbuds that you can buy at this price point. They're saying that it's got great sound quality and great latency performance, so that when you're watching videos, you won't get any lag. Now, great latency performance without aptX, I'm very skeptical about that. So today we're going to compare this pair of earbuds to the $350 Beoplay E8 2.0. At this point, you'll be asking me, why dude? Why are you comparing a pair of earbuds that costs $130 to a pair that costs $350? And there's a good reason for that. Despite the huge difference in price point, they're both actually quite comparable in terms of specs. For example, they both don't support aptX. They support AAC, SBC, they both have wireless charging and USB-C fast charging, and they both feature touch controls. The only differences between them, aside from build quality of course, we're talking about B&O here. This supports Bluetooth 5, this does not, it supports Bluetooth 4.2. This has up to 16 hours of battery, 4 hours in the buds, 12 hours in the case, whereas this has a total of 13 hours of battery, 6 hours in the buds, longer than the B&Os, and 7 hours in the case. So not as many charges in the case compared to the B&Os. So by using the E8 2.0 as a benchmark, we're going to look at the Samsung Galaxy Buds build quality and design, sound quality and latency performance on both Android and iOS. Okay, we're going to be very thorough, cover all bases. Let's unbox this thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Samsung Galaxy Buds, this is the case. It's a lot smaller than the Beoplay E8 2.0s. A very nice white charging cable, some extra rubber tips and fins, but it's not covered in leather like the Beoplay E8 2.0s, but this still feels quite substantial. Let's open it up. Oh my god, they look better in person, and there's a little bit of weight to them as well. Not bad. A little smaller than the E8 2.0s, but carries more battery in the buds. 6 hours compared to 4 hours. Honest to god, I thought it would feel cheap, but it doesn't. Not at all. Yeah, it's okay. Sits pretty well in the ear. It doesn't have those big stability fins, but I guess it's okay for the purpose. Like if you want to go for a light jog or you want to go cycling, I think this is okay. Of course, comparing it to the E8 2.0, yeah, this just sits, I mean, it's got a lot more surface contact with your ear, so I guess this may be a little more stable, but it's not a whole lot more stable than the Galaxy Buds. These ones are pretty okay. So we're going to set them up for the sound quality test, okay? Let's go. Okay, it's done. I've set them up using the Galaxy Wearable app on Android. That app apparently is not available on iOS. Few things I want to say about the app first. Overall, I like the experience that this app brings. Clean design, easy on the eyes, customizable touch controls. Very good. So I made the earbuds do volume controls instead of activating voice command, because in this way it's very much like the control scheme of the E8 2.0, which I prefer. You can also set the earbuds to activate ambient pass-through instead. Depends on preference. What I don't like about this app is the EQ settings. I think the EQ settings are too simplified. You have up to 5 different EQ presets you can choose from. So no 5-band or 10-band equalizer. Graphic equalizer is what I prefer. But anyway, we're going to switch the EQ off, okay, for the sake of this test, so that we get a more balanced assessment. Okay, first let's try the Galaxy Buds and then we'll switch over to the E8 2.0, okay? And it's pretty loud. I mean, the highest I can go is 70% for me. I need at least 70% to get the kick. A bit light on the bass, but it's quite a clear sounding pair of earbuds. It sounds clean and clear, probably even cleaner and clearer than the JBL Free X. They also sound pretty airy, quite nice actually, but there are a few things, right? First thing is that they lack gravitas. There's not a lot of low end there. They got a bit of bass, it's got a bit of bounce, but it doesn't have enough gravitas and bass extension. The second thing is that they sound a little bit bright, like the treble is boosted or something, so if you're at 70% volume, they sound a little bright, which is okay, not too bad. But the louder you go, the brighter it sounds, and by the time you hit maximum volume, it just becomes shrill. I don't know, maybe there's an EQ setting for it, but out of the box, you're gonna get this kind of sound. So let's switch over to the E8 2.0. Yeah, it's okay. Its higher registers are a little bit more polished. Mids, it's got much more detailed, louder mids. So there's a little bit more more richness in the vocals. Bass, you can clearly hear the thump, the gravitas, the bass extension, and I might add also that they sound a little more open and airy compared to the Galaxy Buds, but of course, these ones cost a couple of $100 more, so I would expect at least that. Let's switch back to the Galaxy Buds, just to confirm. Yeah, everything I said about the sound quality is confirmed. So I'm not saying that they sound bad. They sound good actually, pretty good for its price point. However, if you're looking for something bassier, this might not be your first choice, but if you like something that's got a little bit more brightness, a little more edge to your sound, then the Galaxy Buds are for you. But if you're a bass head like me, then you'll probably be better off with something, perhaps even something like the JBL 3X. That one costs about the same amount of money, but has better bass performance. Okay, so let's proceed with the latency test. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to play a video and a video game on my Oppo R70 Pro smartphone. Okay, I'm going to switch between both of them so that you can tell whether there's a difference in terms of latency. And then we're going to do another latency test on an iOS device, my iPhone. Okay, so let's go. YouTube app, E8 2.0, and then switch over to the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Pretty good. There's only just a little bit of lag, but still quite okay. Okay, now switching over to the Galaxy Buds, same video. Not as synced up as I thought it would be. I think the Beoplay E8 2.0 was a little more synced up than this. Okay, now we're going to try video games. I'm playing PUBG. Let's fire a shot and see if it syncs up with the audio, okay? Not very synced up. So the audio is not very synced up when you're playing video games. Now let's switch over to the Galaxy Buds. Wow, this is horrible. That was really bad. The syncing was way off. I think the E8 2.0 had better syncing, both for videos and for gaming. I'm very surprised because I've watched quite a few reviews of the Galaxy Buds by reputable YouTubers, and they all said that the Buds had very good syncing, but I guess that's only with Samsung phones. I don't know, let's switch over to my iPhone and we'll see if it's better or worse, okay? Okay, now iPhone, but same as before, I'm using the YouTube app, E8 2.0, and then we'll switch over to the Galaxy Buds, okay? So, let's go. Yeah, there's a little bit more latency than on Android. So there's a little bit more latency than on Android. Now let's switch over to the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Okay, same video, Galaxy Buds. Latency is almost identical to the E8 2.0. Let's switch back to the E8 2.0 and then put on the game, okay? Okay, first E8 2.0. Yeah, just as expected. Just a tiny little bit of lag, but it's not too bad. Samsung Galaxy Buds. Yeah, it's quite similar to the E8 2.0. I think it's safe to conclude that with the Samsung Galaxy Buds, you will get AV syncing latency issues, be it on Android devices or iOS devices. First, let's talk about Android. I'm quite aware that if I had performed this latency test with a Samsung Galaxy S10 or S10 Plus, the results may have been quite different because there are a few videos out there that showed that these earbuds do not have any latency issues when paired with Samsung Galaxy devices. And I suspect it's because of the Samsung scalable codec. But it's clear that when you pair it with other Android devices like the Oppo R17 Pro that I was using, latency performance can vary among different apps. Like with the YouTube app, I thought that the latency performance was pretty okay, but latency performance on the PUBG mobile game app was horrendous. So for watching videos, playing video games, if this had support aptX codec, the latency would have been quite minimal regardless of whether I was watching a video or playing video games, which is kind of puzzling because Samsung Galaxy S10, S10e, S10 Plus, they all have aptX, so why not put it in these earbuds as well, right? But the situation was very different with iPhone. You notice that on iPhone, both the YouTube app and the PUBG app had comparable latency performance. Like the latency wasn't so bad on either of them, and I suspect that that's because AAC is an Apple developed codec, so it stands to reason that Apple devices like the iPhone, iPad, they are optimized for use with AAC, and so you get a more consistent performance throughout. But overall, would I recommend the Samsung Galaxy Buds? I think so, because okay, hear me out, alright? At this price point of $130, there are very few true wireless earbuds out there that have features such as Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C, wireless charging, touch controls, and a pretty decent app. I mean, the JBL Free X, retailing for the same $130, does not have an app. Plus, it looks and feels and sounds quite decent too. So it's a pretty decent pair of earbuds for $130. But of course, I've got my sticking points. I've talked about latency, and it's something that I'm very big on because I watch a lot of video and play games on my phone. And of course, the battery life, you've heard me say it before, I say it again. I think 13 hours of battery life in total in 2019 is a little short. I mean, a lot of earbuds that have been released or are going to be released in 2019 have at least 16 hours of battery life. So yeah, 2 or 3 extra charges in the case would have been awesome instead of just 1 extra charge. So I wonder what you guys think. Do you think the Samsung Galaxy Buds at $130 is worth the money at all? What do you think about its latency issues? Is it a deal breaker or is it not a deal breaker? Tell me in the comment section below, let's have a discussion, and I might even respond to your comments in another video. So, thank you guys for watching. My name is Aaron, and if you like this video, please punch that like button and share this video with your friends. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and remember to ring the bell to join my notification squad because I upload videos every single week, and you can expect more videos about the Samsung Galaxy Buds to be released in the near future. So if you want to stay notified, ring the bell, okay? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.